All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time is to talk about the match ratings, the player ratings for the Newcastle versus Arsenal games. I'm going to talk about the Arsenal player ratings. Keep on in match ratings. How the players played during the match. You know what the fuck this segment is. So this is always the segment that gets me in trouble with people. But I've decided to just do it. And if you guys, please, I can't say this enough. If you agree or disagree, what would your match ratings be? Please leave it in the comments below. All right, so first things first. I guess we won. It was, in the end, a good performance, but it was tough going for a while, and I knew it would be. I said it in my preview that, you know, Newcastle, regardless of where they are in the league, first of all, it's always a tough journey for Arsenal. We lost there last year. And, you know, we never find St. James's Park particularly easy to play in. Other than the fact that Man City played Newcastle, I think it was last week, and they struggled to them. So this was never going to be an easy game. It wasn't last week, was it? But I know that the game wasn't easy. So I think, you know, keep that context in mind when I put out these ratings, all right? Because they might seem a bit generous, but I think on the whole, they asked us a question, and in the end, we dealt with it. Right, so first things first, Petr Cech. I get people's fear about Petr Cech, and to me, I actually would have started him in this game. Other than in the early stages where he was a little bit dodgy, I actually thought he made some really smart saves, particularly in the first half, which, let's be real here, we weren't doing a lot. If anything, I thought Newcastle was a slightly better team in the first half. We just weren't really doing much from an attacking sense, from an anything sense, really. And at least with Newcastle, the one thing I will say is that they were at least trying down the wings. And causing us problems. And Cech had to make one or two really decent saves, especially that one from Perez towards the end of the game. To me, I give Cech I don't want to give him a 7, but I feel like a 6 would be an appropriate mark. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Right back, Hector Bellerin. I thought Hector initially, first half an hour, I thought was just same old usual Hector. Just poor defensively. I will say this about Hector. I think he is trying to improve that part of his game, because how he recovered in the second half, people will talk about how he improved in an attacking sense. I actually saw a slight adjustment from him defensively. So whether that was a tactical change from Emre or what, but there was a real consciousnness that every time Monreal went up, Hector would stay back. When Hector went up, Monreal would stay back. I said, why the fuck have we always been playing this way? Because normally with these two, they have no real sense defensive. Don't get me wrong, probably harsh on Monreal, but Hector in particular has no real sense defensively. So they both go bombing up, and everyone's surprised when we start leaking goals. There was a little bit more conscientiousness in terms of their defensive responsibility. And that really shone through in the game, particularly as the game went on, from what I saw. To me, I would probably go as far as to say Hector. I think Hector did all right. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he did okay. Had a real dodgy half an hour, but I think recovered as the game went on. Oh, Mustafi. I actually didn't think Mustafi was having that bad of a game until, I don't know if he lost the ball in the sun. I don't know what the fuck happened. This geezer, like I tried to describe yesterday, he kind of was caught in two minds about what to do. And instead of headering the ball, people say he slipped. I'm not so sure he slipped, you know. I think this motherfucker tried to be slick and slide and then tried to get up and recover, and it didn't quite happen. So I'm not so sure he slipped. And then I still blame him for the Newcastle goal. I think that should be his all day long. All day long, that should be his. Like I don't know what he was doing for the goal. This was not a good game. If you want to look at Cardiff as being a good game for him, it was. This was not. 5 out of 10, and that's being generous. That's only because I actually thought when he wasn't fucking up, he was okay. But other than that, 5 out of 10. And I think that's being fair. Socrates, I thought, was wonderful yesterday. Absolutely wonderful. I said in my preview, almost like he watched the preview and heard me, that I was desperate for him to have a strong performance. That I thought that Socrates, you know, I've seen people say that he's played really well all season. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I think he's been okay all season. I thought last week was his weakest game. But I think he's been okay all season. But I wanted to see a strong performance out of him. And yesterday, fucking hell, we got a strong performance out of him yesterday. Bail Mustafi out when he, as Mustafi would say, that's one thing I'll give Mustafi a pass on. He made a joke of it on Twitter where he basically said that he's now recovered from the sniper that he was looking for in the stadium, which I thought, yeah, okay, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, Socrates actually bailed him out of that particular situation. And I thought led that pairing quite well, actually. I think we're starting to see what Sven still sees in Socrates, because, you know, a lot of people were surprised that we went after him. Moneyball Sven does it again. What can you say? He's seen something in Socrates, and that was a good performance from him. More of the same, please. 9 out of 10. Is he my man of the match, though? We'll find out. Left wing back Monreal. I thought he did all right. I thought he did well. I thought he was solid. Unspectacular, but definitely much better than his performance last weekend. Last weekend. The weekend before the international break. 7 out of 10. Guendouzi. I actually thought Guendouzi was unlucky to come off. Thank God he did, in a sense, because, you know, I'll talk about that in a second, but I thought he was doing all right, to be honest. I thought he was doing okay. I actually thought he played better in this half than he did against Cardiff. You do worry that something like that might knock his confidence, because he didn't do a lot wrong yesterday, but then came off at half-time. So you're probably thinking, fucking hell, what do I have to do? I would expect him to probably have a full 90 minutes in the Europa League. I can see someone like him possibly playing with Ainsley Maitland-Niles when Ainsley Maitland-Niles is up and running in the Europa League, particularly in the early stages. But for now, I thought he did all right, and I would give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he was fine. Xhaka, on the other hand, he's my man of the match. I thought he played really well. In fact, I would go as far as to say best performance I've seen Xhaka play in an Arsenal shirt. I thought it was wonderful yesterday. Wonderful. I don't think he played badly in the first half. I've seen people say that he weren't that good in the first half. I thought he was all right in the first half, but in the second half, oh, goodness. That free kick, I've still got a boner over that shit. Yep. Oh, yeah. I've still got a boner over that shit. That was a hell of a fucking free kick. And it wasn't just the goal. I actually thought his positioning sense was really good, particularly when he played with Torreria, who I'll talk about shortly. Them two have to be the partnership going forward. And that's no disrespect to Guendouzi, because I think that kid is a hell of a player. In fact, you can make an argument, as I said yesterday, if you want to play a central three, why not play Guendouzi, Xhaka, and Torreira? Why not play all three? Because Ramsey, I'll come to Ramsey in a second, but I thought Xhaka was brilliant yesterday. And I'll give him a 9 out of 10 too. I thought he was fantastic. The only reason I give him a 9 is because I don't think his first half was as good as his second half. But I don't think his first half was that bad. I thought he was arguably one of our better players in the first half. So, yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. Aaron. Yeah, Aaron has gone back to 2015, 2014. Aaron. If this is what you're trying to claim 250 bags a week for, go. Go. We don't need that. We don't need that. I thought it was terrible. Easily our worst player. Easily. It's not even close. 4 out of 10. No, it's not even close. I want to hear it. I want to hear a discussion. Poor. Mesut Ozil, I thought, as ironic as it is, I thought was a bit of an understated statesman yesterday. You know, a lot of people were talking about Guendouzi, Socrates, Torreria. But I thought Ozil did well yesterday, you know. I thought it was a little bit understated, given the fact that he scored. Kind of went under the radar, but I think he quietly took up a slightly different role yesterday and was really heavily in orchestrating stuff. I actually thought played well. I really enjoyed Mesut's performance. And listen, I'm not, you know me, I don't overly gush over Mesut Ozil, but I was impressed yesterday. I thought worked hard yesterday. That to me was what impressed me the most. That this was one of the games that Mesut gave a shit and really worked hard. Like even towards the end, tracking back and just bullying motherfuckers. Mesut bullying someone else off the ball. What? I was like, goodness, what the hell is happening here? So I was very happy to see that. I hope it's who knows with Mesut? You never fucking know. But to me, yesterday was very impressive from Mesut Ozil. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Who should we go with now? Aubameyang. I thought was okay. It was all right. I definitely thought he picked up in the second half, but then so did every other player. Was a little bit quieter yesterday, but it kind of is what it is with Aubameyang. This probably sounds harsher than I want it to sound, but I'd give him a 6 out of 10. Not because he was terrible, just not that much went off for him. Having said that, up top, Alexandre Lacazette. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. My man was a nuisance. Again, I really like this type of role that he's adopting. And I get why people are comparing him and Aubameyang to kind of a potentially a modern day version of Andy Cole and Dwight York. Because Dwight York in his prime, I fucking hated that motherfucker. Oh, I hated that motherfucker. Especially because whenever he used to play Arsenal, he used to do exactly what Lacazette was doing against Newcastle, what he did against Cardiff, just be a nuisance, a little fucking nuisance. I do think perhaps we might need to look at the option of just saying fuck it and going 2 up top, because I noticed that when we kind of did that yesterday and moved Aubameyang a little bit more central, we played better. You know, playing both of them as that kind of central striker with Mesut just behind that, just plays to everybody's strengths. Mesut prefers playing there. I don't know why I keep calling him Mesut like I know him. My name's not Ty. Ozil plays better behind the 2 strikers. And I think Lacazette kind of just drifting off Aubameyang suits him nicely. So I think we should just do that and just stop fucking around. But to me, I really like Lacazette's performance. If he'd scored, I would have said an 8. But I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. Torreira, who's one of the subs, let's talk about subs. Torreira, 8 out of 10. For me, the whole performance of the whole team lifted as soon as he came on. He must start. He must start. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to say, really. There's no other discussion to be had. 8 out of 10. Danny Welbeck came on, and I actually thought did all right coming on. And his little cameo, I know we have a couple of commenters that like taking the piss out of my boy Mensah. But I actually thought did really, really well coming on in his little cameo, you know. He did a similar job. He's done similar jobs really throughout the season, just coming on, almost doing a cameo role where he kind of just runs off the ball, using his work rate to kind of cause problems and just bully people off the ball and kind of run the clock down and, you know, cause a little problems. Arguably could have scored as well, but it's fucking Welbeck. It wouldn't be a Welbeck game if he didn't have at least one chance he should have scored. But all in all, I thought did all right for his cameo, and I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Mickey, I think he came on with like less than 10 minutes to spare. I don't really, it'd be unfair to kind of rate him at this point. But, you know, didn't do anything wrong. Just didn't come on long enough for me to give a rating to. And the manager. I must admit, I'm still not overly enamored with the starting lineups, but the one thing I love about this manager is even when he wants to be stubborn at the beginning, if he realizes it's not working, or if you can see that there's a problem, he will take off whoever the fuck it takes in order to make it work. No one is untouchable in that respect either, which I like. Personally, I prefer it this way around. Yes, of course, ideally, you would like him to pick the team correctly from the start, but I prefer it this way around to the Wenger way around, of leaving it to the 70th minute and it's way too late to be able to fix it. All in all, you know, I saw so many people on Twitter say the most important thing was 3 points, and I agree. The most important thing was 3 points. We got the 3 points. We now got Europa League on Thursday. And then we got Everton, who are not exactly in great form. If I could lost to West Ham at home, I'd be disappointed if we don't beat Everton at home. But we got them on Sunday, so hopefully that should be standard procedure. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Do you agree with my ratings? Instead of just hurling insults, why don't just tell me what your damn ratings are and I'll give my comment on it. So leave it down below. I always interact with people who just do that rather than just making snide remarks. So yeah, if you guys do that down below. Also, if you like this video, crush, destroy, drop kick that shit out of that like button. You guys know I appreciate it every time you guys do that. It really helps the show get noticed. Right, I'm off to cook something because later on, I'm going to be on the Guna Talk. So yeah, it'll be my first time on the Guna Talk. Really looking forward to it. Definitely enjoying my conversations with Tom. And there's also going on with Kenny. Kenny Ken's going to be on there too. And it's been a while since I've had a little chat with Kenny Ken about football on there. So yeah, it'd be really good. So definitely head over to the Guna Talk. You guys should be subscribed to that motherfucker anyway. You know, that channel is a good channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to it, hit that subscribe button and you'll see my ugly mug on there as well. All right, people, I'm out of it. Take care. Deuces.